Hey, how you doing? Welcome to another time here. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's been some time away from my book club. I've been traveling and all of that. But I'm so happy to be back, to be able to have the opportunity to do this again today. Thanks for coming. Thanks for making a time out with me. It's a book club. We'll get to do it typically on Sundays, 2 p.m. West African time, and we'll study through a book and try to do life, as using a book as a prompt to do life together, share life experiences and learn together, learn from the book, learn from life experiences, and we just help one another to grow, develop, and become better in the affairs of life, So that's what we got to do here. And we're presently reading this book, The Gold Mine Effect by Rasmus Ankersen. That's what we've been on since the beginning of the year. That's all we've done. These are 6 months into it. And we're going to enter into the last chapter of the book today. I can't guarantee we'll finish it today. We'll probably finish it to next week or whenever we finish it. But we've been on this for the last 6 months, and it's been a blessing to me as a person. It's changed my life. It's made me a better person. So I have the reward. I have the benefit. I have the fruit, of doing this. I just hope it's doing the same effect for someone out there, but that's why we do it. Firstly, because of a selfish reason to develop myself and hopefully develop someone out there also. But that's what we've been doing. We're going to go into chapter 8 of the book, which happens to be the last chapter of the book. Quite funny, right? And coincidental, just that I don't believe in coincidence. Coincidence is God's way of hiding himself. God's way of hiding himself. This is our eighth book in the series, and this is our eighth chapter, and it's the last chapter of the book. That's a round figure, and it excites me anytime I hit coincidence, which I see as a fingerprint, the hand of God, the confirmation of God, the presence of God. That's my way of interpreting it. It's my ritual. It works for me, might not work for you. But I just see coincidence and I get excited. It just tells me there's a hand that is bigger than me in the affairs of my life, in the affairs, in the things that I'm doing. So that's what we're doing. We're gonna go into a book here. It's just talking about high performance. How to increase your result, how to get more out of life, how to get more out of everything that you do, how to be more productive, right? It's and what we typical the book is done is just go to look at different places where they have high performance. They're known for high performance, and we've been trying to sift out of those places. How did they achieve it? What can we apply? How did they achieve it? What can we apply? How can we also get our lives on a track of high performance, high value? How can we get more out of the things that we do? How can we differentiate ourselves from the crowd? How do we bubble up, bubble out, of the general populace? How do we get out of the rat race? That's all we've been looking at and learning. And we're here going to close it up and round it up here with the last chapter that we're going into. Uh, call, yeah, thanks. I see your wave. Thanks for stopping by. So that's what we're gonna do, just looking at the title itself, who wants it most? That's what differentiates everyone about life. You talk about two when you see those horses running in the horse race. The difference between the first and the second is typically not much, not much. Really, and not much is differentiated by who wants it more. It's just a fraction of a second. Who wants it more? Who wants it more sticks their neck out to win the race. Even in human race, you see, well, sometimes in human race, there's a big difference, depending on those that are competing. But it's all about who wants it more. Who wants it more determines, how much exercise, how much exertion, how much preparation everyone puts into the game. Some people take it for granted and just they average people, but others putting their best into it, and they get the result of their best into it. Life will give you according to what you give in, right? And giving in, involves different things. It involves your physical practice, also involves your heart, your heart, how giving you are to it, how sold out you are to the thing that you are doing. That will make a difference. We use the word attitude, right? Attitude, right? Attitude is probably a spectrum, but when we're talking about attitude in this wide is how sold out are you to the thing that you are doing. That determines the result that you get. That differentiates you from a crowd. That bubbles you up from every other person, right? And it determines, the value that you receive. Scripture will talk about, you see a man diligent in all that he does. You see a man that is given to, to excellence in what that is does. Do you see a man whose heart is in that which he does? That person will not stay with mere man. That person will be given an entrance onto the true room. That person will be exalted. Exalted. Scripture says, that, we should not be slothful in business. Don't just do things anyhow. Don't just do things haphazardly. Don't just do things passively. But you're going to do something, give a whole of you to it. Says, do not be slothful in business, but you be fervent in spirit. Be fervent in spirit. Give your being to it. Be present in that thing that you have chosen to do. It's one thing if you have not chosen to do it, a different thing. But if you have chosen to do it, give it your best. Another part of scripture will talk about that part, that whatever we do, let's do heartily, 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 with the whole of our heart, with the whole of our being, heartily, as unto the Lord, as unto God, because you have to see something that is bigger than you to be able to give your best. Give it to your creator. Give it to the person that has brought you here. Do it as you are doing to him, and he will reward you. Right? Our reward ultimately comes from God, and it rewards our intent. It rewards our reason. It rewards, the beating of our heart. Right? So, and what a chapter, what a topic to close this book on high performance, because everything we've said is all wrapped up in that. How much do you want it? How much do you want it will determine whether you will get it or not. How much do you want it? Ancient wisdom says that keep on asking. We quote it, literally as ask, but the real meaning, the real word, the real spirit behind the word that is keep on asking. Not just ask one, keep on asking. Then you will get. You don't get because you just ask one. It's because you keep on asking. Your being is asking. It's not a one-time asking. Your being is asking. If your being is asking, it's a continuous stance. Keep on asking. Keep on asking. Keep on asking. Because the person that keeps on asking will get. It's not the person that asks once. The person that keeps on asking, the person who is devoted to what he or she wants, the person who has a focus on the thing that he or she wants, is a person that gets. Keep on asking, because he that keeps on asking will get. He says, keep on seeking, because he that keeps on seeking will find. Keep on knocking, because he that keeps on knocking, the door will be open unto. Jesus gives a parable, talks about the man that goes by midnight to ask of his neighbor. Someone had come to his house and needed to feed the person. He goes by midnight to wake up his neighbor to give him something. Scripture tells us there that this friend will not give him just because he asked, right? He will not give him just because they are friends. He will give him because of his continual asking, his importunity, right? His importunity. He's staying on to ask, he's staying on to ask, right? And we'll see the example there in where scripture tells us that we should not give up, but we should pray, right? But heaven answers those that keeps on asking, not people that ask people that ask passively. It's your heart that heaven answers to. It's your heart that nature answers onto, right? So if you want something, stay at it. If you want something, stay at it. Because your staying at it is what will get it. Your staying at it is what shows how much you truly want it. Right? But don't let me steal the thunder. I'm going to bring up my slide here and we're going to do a more structured, running through this chapter. Let me do that. Now, and the quote that runs this chapter is one by Muhammad Ali. It says, champions aren't made in the gym. Champions are not made in the gym. Champions are not made on the field. Champions are not made anywhere else. Champions are made in the secret. What we see in the open is what has happened in the secret place. Champions are made in the solitude when you talk to yourself. Champions are not made by the things everybody sees. Champions are made by the things nobody sees but you. Is that internal communication we have with yourself? Is that never again? Is that I want to be this? Is that I would love to be this person? Oh, this can't happen again. It's an internal communication that makes champions. Is that dream? Is that vision? Is that desire? Right? Is that vision of the place called there? That's what makes a champion. It's not what everybody sees. It's what is internal to that person. That's what we say. It's not about the size of a dog in the fight. It's about the fight in the dog. Nobody sees that fight. Yeah, you see all the motions, but that fight in that dog is what determines it's winning or losing. That's a popular quote would say, you can't win against someone that would never give up. You're fighting with someone, and each time it falls, it's always coming back on, 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 coming back on. You can't win against such a person. That person has made a determination, I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to give up. I'm going to have the last say, irrespective of what it takes. That's what makes champions. It's not the visible accolade, the jumping, the dressing, it's what you say to yourself, the internal communication you have with yourself. What have you sworn to? What have you dedicated yourself to? Right? Or are you just following everybody else? You're going to win if you talk to yourself. It's the agreement you have with yourself that you actualize, everywhere else. So if you don't have an agreement with yourself, then you are lost. You're just like everyone else. You don't have your boundary. You don't have your line in the sand. You don't have what you're committed to. You know, champions are not made in the gym. Champions are made from something that have deep inside them. They are made from something they have deep inside them. That's what makes champions. Something deep inside them. It's not external, it's internal. Something deep inside of them, a commitment, it's a desire, it's a dream, it's a vision. That's what makes champion. If you're going to be a champion in your own life, in your own field, in your own area, you have to have a dream. You have to have a vision, of what it is that you want to achieve. You have to have a desire. You have to have a vision, of that place called there you want to go, you want to be, you want to arrive at, because that is what's going to make you, that's what's going to make the difference whether you win or you lose. Right? And that's what we're going to see as we run through this chapter. How much do you really want it? Do you really want it? Or are you just passing time? Right? Do you really want it, or are you passing time? What are you willing to give for what you want? That's what's going to make a difference in how high you go, what you receive out of life. Because if you are not committed, life will not be committed to you. Life needs you to be committed for life to be committed to you. In the scriptures, the Bible will say, draw near to God and God will draw near to you. You draw near to God and God will draw near to you. You draw near to you to that which you want, and what you want will draw near to you. Draw near to you draw near to your vision. Your vision will draw near to you. You draw near to your desire. Your desire will draw near to you. You draw near to your dream. Your dream will draw near to you. Right? So let's move on. Excuse me. The difference that makes a difference is who wants it most. In any race, in any championship, is who wants it most, who has the hunger on the inside, who has a burning desire on the inside. That's what differentiates two people. right? It's not their size, it's not their education, it's not their endowment, it's who wants it most. Over this study, I gave an example between two soccer players, two footballers, Ronaldo and Nani, two persons that have the same pedigree, but one rose to notoriety, the other one did not. And from a public eye, what I can see is that one wanted it more. One wanted it more. So that person rose to notoriety because he wanted it more. He gave in the extra. He stayed back. He got to the training ground before everyone else and stayed longer than everyone else. And that differentiated him out. The other person that had the same pedigree did not give the extra, so never rose to notoriety. You read the story of Mamba, what's his name now? Mamba. His name will come to me. The basketball player for Lakers. What differentiated him out is he gave the extra. He gave the extra. That's why he rose to notoriety. That's why he rose to stardom. That's why he made the money that he made. After he died, there were a lot of funny stories. Oh, he belongs to this cult, he belongs to that cult because of people that have no sense, people that are empty on the inside, people that are not willing to give for that what they want, people that think those that are rich, those that rise to stardom, get magic. No, no, there's no magic anywhere. If the people that are rich, people that break to notoriety, they give the sacrifice. They sacrifice themselves. They sacrifice their time. They sacrifice their thinking. They sacrifice their person. They kept asking by practicing, they kept seeking by practicing, discovering how to and thinking how can they do small things better, how can they turn out, how can they use their little to do much. They kept knocking at the door of stardom. They kept knocking at the door of notoriety because they kept knocking. The door was open to them. It's no cult. It's the sacrifice. It's the time they put in that resulted in what they got. And you too can get it if you put the same time in. If you keep asking, you will receive. If you keep seeking, you will find. If you keep knocking, the door will be opened unto you. It's available to everyone, not to a few, to everyone. But it doesn't come by happenstance. You have to pay the price. You have to give the time. You have to be dedicated to it for it to come to you. So the difference that makes a difference is who wants it more. How much do you want what you desire? How much do you want to be top in your career? How much do you want to be top in your chosen field? How much do you want to be top in your family? How much do you want to be top in your village? How much do you want to be top in your class? How much do you want to be top in your church or wherever you find yourself? Are you seeking for excellence? It's not going to fall from heaven. It's not going to come by someone laying hands on you. It's not going to come by mere praying. You got to do what it takes. You got to keep asking, asking. Yes, you can pray, but prayer is also what you do. You got to pray and then do. Pray, do, pray, do, pray, watch, 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 do. All three are important. Pray, watch, see what it is that you can do, make different. What are the gaps in what you're already doing? What new keys can you plug into? Then do it. 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 You learn by doing it. Plug it back. Do the feedback. Correct the things that are not working well. Then do it again. Pray, watch, do. Pray, watch, do. Pray, watch, do. You got to do it for it to happen. You got to keep asking. You gotta keep asking. You keep asking by exercising yourself. You keep asking by thinking about it. You keep asking by running through the steps and seeing the things you can do better, the things you can do without. How can you optimize the things you are presently doing? And as you think about your processes, the ideas will come. And as the ideas come, you practice them, you exercise them, you try them out, you learn from the experience. You gotta keep seeking. You gotta keep knocking. It's because if you don't want it, you won't get it. And if you don't want it as much as other people do, they'll probably get it, you won't get it. We're not in competition, no doubt, but you gotta want it enough to make the sacrifice for it, right? So motivation is the emotional foundation of all excellence. You're not gonna be excellent if you're not motivated, right? And motivation here is not a feeling. Motivation is a decision. It's not whether I feel motivated today, I feel like it, I don't feel like it. If you allow feelings to run your life, it will really will lead you to hell. Feelings are good servants, not masters. Feelings are good servants, terrible masters. Our place is to be a master of our feelings. We'll master our feelings. We'll send our feelings on errand. We'll send our feelings a message. You don't allow your feelings to determine what you do or not do. You don't allow your feelings to guide your steps. Otherwise, you cannot get excellence. Tell you my own little secret, even in doing this, I've been doing this. I'm learning also. I started this because I'm a feeling person. I'm telling you something that used to be a weakness in my life. I grew up a feeling person. I almost feel like God talks to me by feeling. So how far away I was from a church, and that held my life captive for years, right? I've been through two depressions and several other things. I've come out of that, right? Sometimes I come here and some I'm looking for a feeling. And when I don't get that feeling, it's almost as if it's dry, right? And I've observed that the times I don't feel it are probably the best sessions I've had. The most powerful sessions I've had when I go through them again are the ones I feel nothing. I feel like, oh, I feel like I'm not even saying anything. It feels boring. But when I go back and listen to it over again, they are the most powerful sessions. Life is not about feeling. Your feelings should not lord it over you. If the feelings lord you over you, you cannot be excellent. It will make you less than excellent. You use your feelings. You don't allow your feelings to use you. Your feelings don't have sense. They are just that. They don't have sense. You give sense to your feelings. So when we talk about motivation, we're not talking about you feeling this or feeling that. It's about you making a decision as to what you want to do and doing it. The feelings will follow. You don't wait for feelings to do. You make a decision what you want to do. Your feelings will follow. So motivation is the emotional foundation for all excellence. But motivation does not come by feelings. It comes by decision. You deciding what is right for you. You deciding what you need to do to get to where you want to get to and then doing it. The feelings will follow, right? So no matter who you are or what it is you're striving to achieve, right? You need to make a decision to do it and continually make that decision to do it. I don't go out to exercise in the mornings because I feel like doing it. No, I do it because I know I need it. I know it's going to and it's making a difference in my life. So I do it. I step out to do it because I know I need it. So I program to do it. Yes, I do it. The more I do it, it becomes a part of me. But the starting process is a decision. It's a decision whether I feel it or I don't feel it. Yes, I listen to my body. Every now and then my body says, slow down. Yes. But I don't do it because I feel like doing it. I do it because I decide to do it. Yes, motivation is you need motivation. You need something to make you want to do it. But that thing is not a feeling, it's a decision. It's because you have decided this is the right thing to do, so you do it. So what you need are the things that will get you to that decision, not the feeling. Decision, not the feeling. Decision, not the feeling. Right? So any company trying to compete must figure out a way to engage the mind of every employee. So says Jack Welch, right? The late former CEO of General Electric, right? He said, if you want to compete, you must get a grasp of the mind of the employee. If you want to compete as a person, you have to get whatever it is you want to do. You must get a grasp of your mind. Get your mind under control. Speak to your mind so your mind can be in agreement with you. Not your feelings, your mind. Not your feelings, your mind. As a company, you do it for the minds in your company, right? For yourself, you do it for your mind. If you don't control your mind will mess you up. If you want to excel in this life, you must have your mind under control. You must have your mind under control. You must have your mind under your control. You send your mind on errands. Your mind does not send you on errand. So scripture says that we have not been given a spirit of fear, a spirit of timidity, a spirit, where our mind is controlling us, but we have been given a spirit of love, of power, and of a sound mind, a mind that is under our control, a mind that is well. Because a mind that is not under our control is a mind that is sick. So, so ancient wisdom, we have not been given a sick mind. We have not been given a sick mind. So if your mind is sick, it's not what you have been given. Claim it back. It's not in the right position. If your mind is sick, if your mind is controlling you, it's time you rise and take your mind back. Right? You don't need, it's not drug that you need. It's not medicine you need. It's a decision to take your mind back, a decision to arrest the thoughts that trouble your mind. Right? Have like a goddaughter who's struggling with depression, and the problem is she's not been able to hold her thoughts captive. By her own decision, she's probably waiting for a feeling. I'm gonna feel good, and I'm gonna feel it. And she's been waiting for years, and things ain't getting better. Right? No, it's not a feeling; it's a decision. If your mind is sick, it's time to decide to arrest your mind. The healing of your mind is not a drug, it's a decision. Your mind is waiting for a decision. You have to decide that your mind will be well. You make a decision to arrest every negative thought. The way to have a sound mind is to be in control of the thoughts that are going through your mind. Arrest them. Arrest thoughts that you don't want and allow only the thoughts that you want in your mind. That is how to have a sound mind. A sick mind is a mind that is out of control, where thoughts come of their own accord. You are pushed here or pushed there. You are the mercy of the thoughts that are running through your mind. That's a sick mind. A sound mind is the mind that you determine the thoughts that go through it and the thoughts that don't go through it. You own it. It's your own. You own it. Not events of life, not any other person own it. You determine the philosophy, the words, the philosophy, the guidance of that mind. You determine what that mind believes and what that mind does not believe. That is a sound mind. You have the right as to who speaks to your life. If just anybody speaks to your life, then you don't know, your mind is not sound. You determine who speaks to your life. You check who speaks to your life. Not every Tom, Dick, and Harry can speak to your life. Anybody that is speaking or speaking things that do not empower you, they are not for you. They are not your friend. They are your enemies. You determine the people that speak to your life. Only listen to the things that empower your mind. Listen to the things that that make you well, that make you come alive, that make you want to live, that will make you want to do things right, that will make you want to love, that makes you want to be responsible. You can do it. You can do it. It's not, forget about the hereditary anything. You can do it. You have not been given a sick mind. You have been given a well mind. You have been given a sound mind. Claim it, hold on to it, defend it. That's where you're starting from. You're not starting from a sick mind. You're starting from a sound mind. It's up to you to defend your sound mind. Don't let anything take it away from you. Defend your sound mind. Don't let anything take it away from you. Defend your sound mind. So if you want to compete, you gotta first of all hone your mind. If you don't hone your mind, you cannot. You cannot be disciplined. You cannot do things you want to do when you want to do it, or things you ought to do when you ought to do it. You cannot be motivated. Motivation is a decision. And if you don't have your mind, you cannot make decisions. You got to be able to make decisions. You got to be able to say, this is where I'm going, and go there. Not you make one decision, but then you are not following it up with action. That's a sick mind. A sound mind makes a decision and follows it up with action. So going back to quote of Jack Welch. So any company must know the way to engage the mind of its employees. Because if you don't engage the mind of your employees, you can't have them work in line with the vision that you're trying to pursue. You as an employer have the strategy, you have the long-term plan, but you need your employees to do the tactical, the short term. You as an employer you have the war to win. You have to be able to engage your employees to win the battles. Because to win the war, you have to win the battles. The battles make the war, right? The battles make the war. You need your employees to be able to win the daily war, the daily battles. When you win the daily battles, then you can win the war. Because the battles determine the war, right? And if that has only a person with a sound mind is able to engage the mind of others. If you can't engage your own mind, you can't engage the mind of other people also. So it starts with you. It starts with you. It starts with you. You have to be able to engage your own mind to be able to engage the mind of other people, right? So any company trying to compete must figure out a way to engage the mind of every employee. Every person that's trying to compete must find a way to engage his own mind. Must first of all invest in having a sound mind, having control of his or her own mind. That's critical. Otherwise, you can't compete. You can't win. Right? Actually, it's in the movie. Troy made the statement, "I want what all men want. I just want it more." And that makes a difference to whether Providence will support you. Providence is available, but until you make up your mind as to what you want, Providence does not know what to support. God wants to support you, but until you make your mind up on what you want, God doesn't know what to support. Your subconsciousness mind wants to support you. Your subconsciousness is your workhorse. It wants to run errands on your behalf. It wants to bring all that you need to you. But if you have not made up if you have not made up your mind, if you're not focused on one thing, if you have not sold yourself to something, if you're not in control of your mind, if you're not directing your mind in a particular direction, your subconscious mind is confused. It doesn't know where to put energy into. When you hone your mind, then the honing of the mind gives direction, gives function, gives a program, gives a command to your subconsciousness to support whatever it is that you're doing. It brings all the resource from the north, from the south, from the east, from the west to support whatsoever it is that you have determined to do. But it needs you to make it happen. He needs you to make it happen. Right? So, people who accomplish great things usually combine a passion for a single mission. They have a passion for a single mission, not a multitude of mission, a single mission, or at least a focused mission, you know, with an unwavering dedication to achieving that mission, whatever the obstacles and however long it may take. You need to have a single mission. That single mission will have several parts to it, no doubt. Remember the story of that cleaner at NASA. They asked her what was her job. She said her job was to take the man to the moon. Even though she sweeps, but she's sweeping to take the man to the moon. She's sweeping to take the man to the moon, right? She doesn't see her job as merely sweeping. No, I'm not just merely sweeping. I am sweeping to take the man to the moon. We have a company, and guess what we have said? We have chosen as our mission to change lives. So everyone that works in our company is changing lives. From the farmer that farms every day, is making ridges, is weeding. Guess what? He's weeding to change lives. He's making ridges to change life. He's harvesting to change lives. My wife runs about, supplies, customers, one convention to the other, meeting, all of that. Guess what? She's doing that to change lives. I run the account, I do the strategy, I do the plans, I give the work direction. Guess what I'm doing? To change lives. To change lives. That's our focus, to change lives. That's our mission. It directs everything that we do. We're focused. We know why we're here. We know why we do what we do. And that gives us power to be able to do it. So if you're going to have high performance, you must know why you do what you're doing, where you're going. There must not be any doubt around it. Right? And one of the things that ways in which we describe this, we have Angela Duckworth and Martin Seligman. You call this quality grit, 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 right? I just placed an order for their book. The book talks about grit, the power of passion and perseverance, right? They were talking about having passion around whatever it is that you're doing and being able to persevere against every obstacle, against every resistance in getting you to have excellence in that which you're chosen to do. Because you're going to have trials. Yeah, right. Nothing in this world comes easy. Right. This world is designed such that whatsoever is good that you're trying to do, you're gonna be going against a resistance. We'll call it the downward pull, downward negative pull. We're simplified by the stream flowing, right? When the stream is flowing, it's easier to go with the stream, to go downstream. But guess what you find downstream? You find all the debt that has been washed downstream. Downstream is debt. If you want to go to clean water, you go to the source of the stream. Guess to get to the source of the stream, you have to go against the stream. You have to go against the flow of the stream. That requires effort because you're going against the force of the stream. You have to go upwards to find clean water, to find where the riches are. You have to go upstream. To go upstream, you're going against the flow of the stream. You're going against the force of the stream. But that's where the riches are, not where the debt is, where the riches are. That is life. If you're gonna go for excellence, you have to go, you have to practice. You have to do things to exercise yourself, whether it's you're exercising your brain, you're exercising your physical body, you're exercising your ability to think, you're exercising your ability to reason, you're exercising your ability to relate with people. You have to do things that are typically not comfortable if it is what is required to be done. Yesterday, I had to go spend some time with my old classmates. You know, I really didn't plan to go at first, but I got called and I said, why? Oh, well, why not? It wasn't my comfort zone. I'm an introvert, right? I love myself. Spending time out is not my natural place, even though I can do it. And as I went, for me, it was like, oh, it's not your comfort zone, but you can't always stay in your comfort zone. You have to do what is required to move on to the next level of your life. Right? This is a time with your friends, with your old classmate. It might not be your comfort zone, but it's you don't have you can step up. You can step up. You don't just do things that you feel like doing. You do things that you need to do. It's a decision. I decided that it was worth doing, even though it was not my comfort zone, even though it was not my easy zone, because I decided it was worth doing. I stepped up to the game. Because if I only seek for the things that are within my comfort zone, I will not grow. I will not learn. I will not develop. I have to learn how to relate to people, spend time with other people, even though it's not my comfort place. I can only do it for so long, but I cannot stay also away for so long. Life is a balance. Life is a balance. I can do that with everybody every day, but when I decide that the people are important enough, right? I can make that decision to step out of my comfort zone to do it. You see, is making the right decision to do what needs to be done for you to learn, to grow, to develop, to exercise yourself, to prepare yourself for the next level and levels of your life. If you want excellence, if you want high performance, then you have to make the decision to do what it takes to get that. You have to make the decision to do the practice, the exercise, the learning, the growing, the developing. So one of the things that we're talking about then, especially when we use the word grit, is passion and perseverance, right? Another way to look at it, other people call it other different names. Lewis Terman calls it the persistence in the accomplishment of ends, right? The persistence in the accomplishment of ends. You have something you want to achieve, and you persist to achieve it. Example for us here in my farm this year was, the first rain tested our operating greenhouses. We had 6 greenhouses that were operating before the first rain this year. The wind from the first rain destroyed 5 of the greenhouses. We had to reinforce a 6th one, otherwise it'll have fallen also. Right? I could have given up, not just stay with the one that is there and giving up my plan, because our original plan is to have 12 of them at the end of the day. And we're building, counting the 12. We're on our 7th and 8th when the incident occurred. I could have given up the whole plan. It wasn't a cheap venture, but it's called the persistence in the accomplishment of an end. I would not allow a temporary failure kill a long-term plan. Yes, it costs money. It meant using money meant for other things to get it done. But because I could see the light at the end of a tunnel, I did the calculation and decided that it was worth having. Then I could not allow the temporary failure, the temporary misfortune to stop us getting to the light I see at the end of a tunnel. So we took up the challenge. We did not allow the age-old excuse that it was nature that caused it to captivate me. I had to investigate and find out what was wrong. Was it something that was not avoidable, or was it something that we did not do right that we can correct? You have to be brutally honest with yourself. If you're gonna get the best out of life. Don't run behind excuses. Don't run behind, oh, there's nothing we can do to happen. It was an incident. House was not an incident. They were not well built. They were not well reinforced. They were not well braced. So we learned from that incident and we built better. We built better such that no matter what wind will come tomorrow, the same incident will not repeat itself. We were brutally honest with ourselves that we did something wrong and we corrected that thing and built back again. We learned from the experience and we can teach other people not to have to do the things that we did before and do the things that we have learned and are doing now to do it better, right? That is it. It's called a persistence to accomplish the end. We didn't give up because of a temporary shortfall, right? Another word that is used for this, and this comes from Joseph Ramzoic, is perseverance, endurance, and hard work. All right, referred collectively as task commitment. You're committed to the task at hand. You're committed to the task at hand. That is what will make a Ronaldo get to the training ground earlier than every other person and leave later than every other person. Commitment to the task at hand, not doing just the bare minimum of what everybody is doing because you want it more than other people, because you want that notoriety, you want to differentiate yourself, you want to bubble up. We're not just talking about performance, we're talking about high performance. So you have to do something you have to do something beyond the ordinary to get it. You have to pay the price for it. You have to exercise for it. You have to practice for it. You have to sacrifice for it. In life, nothing goes for nothing. People are always looking for something for nothing. I've had someone come along and give me false pretense to collect money from me a while ago. Different funny stories. But that money is only going to last so long. But you brought a curse upon yourself because that's not the way life operates. Life is something for something, not nothing for nothing. Well, not nothing for something, sorry. Right? You have to pay the price of sowing and reaping. You got to do the work to get the pay. You have to do the sacrifice to get the notoriety. You have to do the diligence to be able to give an entrance to the throne room. You have to be diligent about what you do what you need to do, when you need to do it, the way you need to do it. Then your excellence, your signature is going to give you an entrance to the throne room. Not all of this stupid desire to break protocol. Do what you need to do. Protocols were set there by God. There's an order. It's called a process. Trust the process. Do the process, and heaven will bless you. Stop looking for something for nothing. There's a reason for the protocol. Follow it. Trust the process. Do your part. Sowing and reaping. Stop looking for reaping without sowing. Stop looking for harvest without sowing. Take the time, sow. There's a process. Yes, God might bypass the protocol when there's an incident, when you are handicapped, but you're not always handicapped. He that has stolen, let him steal no more, but let him walk so that he will have something to give. In the wilderness, yes, there was manna, but once they left the wilderness, they had to sow and reap. Stop leaving the wilderness away from the wilderness. Play your part. Let God play his part. Play your part. Let nature play his part. Nature never misses out. So you play your part. You are the one stopping your growth. You are the one stopping your prosperity. You are the one stopping your moving to the next level of your life. When you do your part, nature will do his part. When you do your part, providence will do his part. When you do your part, God will do his part. Right? So another word for this is called a stick-to-itness. Stick-to-itness. Japanese proverb says, fall 7 times, rise 8 times. Never let life do you in. Never let life have the final call on you. You fall 8 times, you rise 9 times. You fall 10 times, you rise 11 times. Never have the last say on you. Rise till you die. Keep on pushing. Keep on pushing till you die. Don't leave anything behind. You're not going to leave your life anyway. Keep pushing. Keep pushing while you're alive because it's possible. You are possible. That which you desire is possible. It can come to pass. Keep pushing. You're closer than you ever were before. You're getting closer to the mark. So keep asking so you can get. Keep seeking so you can find. Keep knocking because the door will be open unto you. Right? So let's take, I believe we're gonna take this slide and probably the last one for today. We're about at the hour mark. Nothing beats a really burning desire. Nothing beats having a fight within. When you don't have a fight within, you're dead. There are a lot of people that are dead, but they are alive. They're just waiting for when they'll be buried. It's because they've lost the fight on the inside of you, of them. Never lose the fight on the inside of you. Never lose your desire for more. Never lose your desire for home. Never lose your desire for your own wealthy large place. Never lose the desire to be fulfilled. Never lose the desire to succeed. Never lose your desire to arrive, right? Never lose your desire to arrive at that place called there for you. Never lose your desire to become like the person you have envisioned in your mind to become. Never lose the fight to you. Don't let that fight ever leave you for whatsoever reason. Don't believe anybody, any prophecy that will make you lose your fight. Hold on to your fight because that is what will take you home. Your fight is your address home. Don't let that fight die in you. Don't let that fire die in you. You need it to get home, right? So nothing beats a really burning desire. Keep that desire on the inside of you. If you don't have one, get one. You cannot run this life, live every day, without knowing where you're going. Get a place, get a destination. It might not be the best at first, but get a destination. Let all your power, let all your minute, all your second, all your hour be because they are taking you somewhere that you have decided for yourself you're going, not where someone told you. You make a decision. What do you want to be? It doesn't matter what 1,001 people are telling you. Put all of that together and decide out of all they are saying, which one is best for me? Which one will make me happy when I get there? When I get there, which one will make me happy? Which one will make me fulfilled? Which one will give me the sense that I have lived life? You have to pick one. And you don't have to stop there. You can make it better, but pick one so that your seconds, your minutes, your hours, your sleep, your wake time will be worked towards getting you home. So nothing beats a really burning desire. It's with it's without doubt the single most important predictor for world-class performance. You can only do well that which you want. You can only do well that which is taking you home. You can only do well that which is taking you to your own railbot, to your own place where you have room, a large, wealthy place for you. That place where you feel fulfilled, having arrived, having lived a good life, having lived a life worth living. Keep that desire. If you don't have one, get one. You need a fight in you to win. Remember, it's not the amount, it's not the size of a dog that's important. It's the size of the fight in the dog. Get a fight inside of you so you can win life. You can be successful. You can be victorious. There can be a smile on your face. Like some other people can get light from your light. Don't let your candle go dark. Don't let your candle go off. Keep that fight on the inside of you. Shine brightly. Burn. Burn. Maybe you're alive. Let someone be pleased that you are alive. Let someone say, because of you, I wanted to leave also. God bless you. Thanks for staying with me this time. That's where we're gonna stop for today. We'll be back next week and we'll take the second part, in this chapter 8 of our book. We'll take the second part, in chapter 8 of our book next week. So we'll be back here next week Sunday, God willing, same time, 2 p.m. All right. Thanks for spending this time with me. God bless you. God bless you. God bless you. Have a great week ahead of you. We have one more Sunday before the end of the month, end of the first half of the year. I hope you've been blessed. So run with this week, and we'll be back next Sunday, God willing, 2 p.m. West African time.